most of you use power bandsaws and things like that, all right? But we want you to use the conduit benders of ice. You know, step on the conduit and get down and stabilize it. Keep your hat on, keep your gloves on, keep your glasses on at all times.
Nearly 40,000 electricians competed in qualifying events across the country. 165 made it to the championship in Orlando. You are about to meet 4 of them. 2016 champion and 2017 runner-up Greg Anliker. 2017 third place winner Seth Agnew. Wildcard Angela Penna. And 2017 champion Roman Razuski. How did they get here? What gives them their spark? This is their road to the ideal national championship.
So originally I'm from Poland. It's like a little tiny village which used to be 68 or 64 houses. All the farms used to be small. Most of the Poland was built this way. It was like 80, probably even 90% of small farms. There was different animals. Sometimes it was cows, sometimes it was pigs, sometimes it was something else. So you have to have a little bit of everything. Because most of the stuff we use that for food, for our food, put on the table. We barely went to the store buying something. It's on the farms over in Poland. Every farmer has to be handy because there wasn't any repair shops. To repair anything around the farm, you have to do yourself. Back of the days, I was wondering how they build the stuff. I was wondering why he's doing this way, how he's built, like to see everything from inside. You can build something way cheaper.
No to cośmy robili jako rodzina. Pracowali na roli i tyle było. Cała rodzina, co kto mógł. Łobuza kawał. Stale coś dłubał.
I like the farming work. I like hard work. I'm not afraid of it. But if I want to do this for life and, you know, making the money, no. That's why I decided to go for something else. Trade school I started if I was 15. I chose to go to technical school. Subject was electricity. It was a 5-year school.
W 1969 roku wykonywaliśmy przeważnie, na ogół, instalacje elektryczne. Układanie przewodów, łączenie przewodów.
I learned by doing the stuff, and going to school, it just helped me understand why the thing's operating, you know. That was helpful.
Roman był dość szybko. Roman jest najlepszym elektrykiem.
Going to the school, you know, I already start having the knowledge, and that's what I started to repair all that stuff. And I just use the practice in the farm, just fixing the simple stuff. At the end of my 5th year, I was able to do any electrical work anywhere. After this, I was drove to the army. I was in Polish army for 18 months. And after I was released from army, I just joined a factory in Poland. I was one of the electricians, one of 10 guys who ran all that factory. I met Maria when I was 21. Back of the days was a lottery. You can just apply for a green card. I'm here, that's because my wife. She actually get the rights to receive the green card. But we are not married that time. She came 1994 over here to the United States, and she came back, we married, and in the meantime we have a son, Daniel. After that, I started the process to get my paperwork, which took another 4 years. And that's what I landed up, 1999, to getting to US.
Ludzie gadają, że no, dobrze chyba, że pojechał u nas. Lepiej, żeby był tu, ale tam ma rodzinę.
I came to New Jersey, the town called Passaic. I came August 1999. You landed like a guy on a parachute, and you landed on the land and try to figure out, what to do.
I am the owner of an electrical contracting business called Catalyst Electric. That is my full-time job. That takes me 50 to 60 hours a week, very easily. Usually I'll be up at 3:30, 3:45 in the morning. Work starts early. I try to get all my stuff done first, as far as all my estimates, that undistracted time before the phone starts ringing and the guys start rolling in. This got put on hold. That was an email I sent you yesterday. But it's a long day. It's a lot of phone calls, a lot of managing jobs, running jobs, bidding jobs, meeting with customers, dealing with the business end of things. When I do get home now, it's okay, I'm done with my Catalyst Electric workday. It's now your general contractor. We're in the process of building our home to hopefully facilitate more kids.
We've been dreaming about constructing our own home for quite some time. I feel like we thought we were pretty well prepared for this process, but it's been a lot, especially with Seth being the general contractor. He basically has 2 full-time jobs right now.
This is a borrowed camper we're living in. The camper's very small and it's 26 feet. We have a bedroom and a pull-out place for the kids to be, and it's tiny. Our entire life is packed up in storage, aside from just the basic necessities that we need.
That is definitely a challenge, but I mean, we are crazy about each other, so it's just a season that we're in, and it's amazing to watch our house go up from like nothing.
I'm working all afternoon, try to have the kids out here working with me as much as possible. The wife's out here working and cleaning, and she's out making up plugs and stripping wires out just as I am. So I mean, we're a team in that. Kids will go to bed, and then a lot of times I'll come back out here. I'll just keep working until I can't physically work any longer and I collapse. I was in very bad health. A year of just feeling like completely drained all the time and always just kind of sore, hurting all over. I guess I just thought it was because I was working hard and this is just what happens. But I knew something was still not right. So I started going to doctors, physical therapy. They were doing x-rays and they said, "We don't understand why you're in so much pain. Your test came back normal, the blood came back normal." So that was in the spring. Later on that fall, they still couldn't pin it down. And so finally, I saw a blood specialist doctor down in southern Missouri who put my blood under a microscope. And he was the one that actually discovered the Lyme virus. I was diagnosed with Lyme disease August of 2016.
To see Seth go through Lyme after seeing like this very athletic, very physically capable man that I love basically disintegrate into like a 90-year-old man and can't play with our kids at his worst days. So it's been hard. I mean, I wish I could just take it on myself and like free him of it.
I was in so much pain that I couldn't hardly lift my kids. I would just lay there and I'd cry in pain. I'd feel just shooting pains down my spine. I lost about 20 pounds. I was skin and bones. Feels like I lost kind of a piece of me. It wasn't just one virus, it was 7 or 8 different species of viruses and bloodborne illnesses. He said, "It's a miracle you walked in here today." I was down to 50% lung capacity. The doctors that I had spoken with had said, "Seth, I've never seen a case this bad. I'm not saying you're not gonna make it, but basically, this is very serious. You really need to start thinking about what this might look like for your life."
I think that seeing my husband's strength even through the weakness and his love for us, even though he can't love us the way he wants to physically, It doesn't matter, he's the most incredible man I've ever known in my life.
My wife and I have been married for 13 years. She believes in me when I don't believe in myself. That's what gives me the confidence to just press on and move on. The conventional treatment was not looking promising for antibiotics, so we decided to go a different method for treatment. We had heard about a specialist in Idaho. I said, I don't care if it's in Iceland. I'm gonna just do everything we possibly can. And my wife says, honey, there's no way I'm losing you over this. She says, we're gonna fight this tooth and nail, not just you and I together, but us as a family.
Growing up, I had 5 siblings. I'm the youngest. Saturdays always was like work around the house. Trimming trees, waxing cars, changing oil in cars. Like, we didn't take stuff anywhere to get fixed or whatever. So most definitely, there was a lot of hands-on with Dad.
A lot of the little projects we did around home were just boiled down to it was the cheap way out. So, you know, you fix things. You didn't replace them.
Greg was always pretty quick at picking things up. You know, anything new, he'd jump on it and could learn it pretty quick. So I think he has a knack for figuring things out pretty fast.
2, right there. In high school, I thought I'd be a statistician for like a insurance company, you know, kind of figuring probabilities of boys versus girls or color of car, all this stuff. I love numbers. Math is it's always easy for me. Did 1 semester of school. It was real easy. I did well, but I was just like, I don't know if this is for me or not. And just went back to doing carpentry.
I could see that he was very busy. He was trying. He wasn't sitting around. He decided that wasn't the path he wanted to take, so why spend more time?
So I worked for a man right out of high school in construction. Greg got a job working for him too, so we worked together. We built a house out in my neighborhood.
Doing carpentry, it's kind of dirty, muddy, everything, and then once the house is under roof and clean, then the electricians show up, and I think that's better than being a carpenter. I can't say there was ever a point when I was younger like, oh, I want to grow up and be an electrician. I had no idea what I was kind of getting into. I thought electricians, like I said, ran little tiny conduit, little tiny wire in a house. And then I get in, and day 1, I literally thought I was going to collapse. Day 2, I get sent in a tunnel underneath the school, putting heat detectors in, laying on a little creeper on my back all day, hot boiler pipes, you know, dirty. I'm like, this isn't really what I thought it was going to be. But after day 2, everything was uphill.
He never gave up, and he'd try again until he got something working. Never saw him fail, really.
I have friends who have office jobs, and they get assigned a project, and they work on it for 6 months. And then their boss comes in and says, we're abandoning that project. If I worked for 6 months and it was all for nothing, I'd be crushed. It's fun when I get that, you know, final punch list on a job. I fix the last 2 things that are wrong, and it's kind of like, check, check, next, you know, or whatever, and there it is. One day there's no building there. 2 months later, I'm flipping the switches on, you know, everything's coming to life, and I can see it all. Or driving down the street, I can be like, yep, I wired that one. Yep, you know, we built that one. It's that sense of accomplishment.
There's not a whole lot of women in my career. I could be working in an apartment building and have close to 70 people and maybe have 2 other women working on the same site. Most job sites, it's all men. I originally was not into electrical. When I was growing up, I've always wanted to be a veterinarian. And then I went through high school, and right after high school, I decided I kind of want to serve our country. So I joined up with the Air Force. I did Air Force Reserve for 8.5 years. I came back And then I met my husband. After meeting Andreas, he decided to do electrical, just like his dad and his grandpa. A few months later, he started school, and I was helping a lot with his homework. And I'm like, wow, I really can do this. I love working with my hands. I love being able to build something, see something go from the ground and go all the way to the finish.
All right, mommy's gonna set up her board. I was like, hey, you know, you could do this. You're a good worker, have a good work ethic. You're gonna be employed your whole life.
And I decided to join. Currently, I am a 5th-year apprentice. I love that Andreas is doing it as well.
I'm 15.
All right, let's see if I can do better than you.
We can come home, and if we have something going on at work, that we can say, you know what? Is this the correct way of doing it? Or is there a better way to do this? I think it's more well-rounding for me.
In my experience, she's better than most of the apprentices. And I've even requested her on some jobs because I'm like, you could work on this, this, or this. She's like, I'll dig the trench. It sounds like fun today. I'm like, sure, go ahead.
I had my daughter middle of 2nd year. When I was 8.5 months pregnant, I was going faster than most of the 20-some young gentlemen. I was putting up light fixtures, I was going up and down ladders.
A lot of times she was like the only apprentice staying all 10 hours to get the job done. I was just amazed that she was working that long, you know, being so pregnant and just doing such a good job of it too and keeping up with everybody else.
Right now, my daughter is almost 4 years old, and I have her working with me. She hands me the screws or anything, and she'll bring it over to me and let me do my work. She's a very good tool partner. I'm hoping that what she brings out of this is that it doesn't matter if you're male or female doing this job, that you can do it, everybody has a part. And I'm hoping that by the time that she is of age, I hope it's more of an equal field.
3, 2, 1, go!
I basically came here with nothing, my son and 2 suitcases, that's it. And maybe I have like $1,000 in my pocket, that's all. If you don't know anybody, and language barrier, which still is. I never went to any school for language, you know. I just learned everything in the street and from other people and try just put that stuff together. There was a lot of Polish people over there where I used to live. Now, I can go anywhere I want and I survive. My actually first job, I was installing HVAC on the new houses and stuff. I have a choice, work for a car company or go to be an electrician. And I figure I already know the business. I have some knowledge, that's why I went to do electrical work. In 2017, I joined the Lehigh University, and now I'm dealing with electric, HVAC, plumbing, you name it. Carpentry, it's all the trades in one. Our group would take care of the rest hall, which is all the dorms. Altogether about 73 apartments.
All lights or the one above the door?
Every day is something different, you know.
My dad, he doesn't go home like halfway through the job. He's got to be there until 11 or 12 at night. He's going to be there until it's done.
I take every single job like a competition. That's maybe why I love this stuff. I like competition. I'm a person who's like, if I'm doing something, I'm doing that repeatedly the same way. Some people, they don't like this idea. I love it. I just gotta do whatever I'm doing every day. Just do my job. And I'm not worried who's chasing me.
There are a lot of different methods of treatment. A lot of people call it the millionaire's disease because you can do this, do that, try this, try that. Well, it is different. It's very alternative. There are no type of toxic substance, no antibiotics, no any kind of drugs or anything. It is all 100% natural. So we very much more into the natural healing, and it's just who we are. And we felt really right about going that direction. The doctor we see is in northern Idaho, which from Missouri is a drive. It's about 36 hours.
The cost of treatment for the Lyme is pretty pricey, so cost was definitely a factor. Also, we love stopping in Colorado and seeing family and friends there.
I really love when they get to come to town because I get to see them. As with most trials, there's a silver lining to it.
I like our kids being able to see America, and I don't want my kids to take things for granted and to just be able to see the beautiful scenery and experience what it is to be stuck in this tiny little space.
So we were talking earlier, Seth, about how well you're doing last year.
Yeah.
About 90% better, and
yeah.
Your symptoms now are what? They're
extreme fatigue, muscle stiffness, soreness.
So our goal is to we'll find out what infections you got today and get you back on the road to health. The guy is in so much pain, those infections he got is just really taking him down quickly. After the treatment ends, Seth will probably go through a detoxification process, which can be waves of fatigue, maybe some nausea or a headache. That can last 6 weeks to 3 months.
My pleasure.
Road weary people need to rest well tonight.
He will get really tired and just need to rest a lot more. How much rest can he get right now, being in the middle of construction? I don't know, but we'll definitely do our best to make sure that he's in tip-top form, for sure.
I have been married for 19 years. Me and my wife knew each other from church.
Talk about it a little bit.
So we're best friends. I mean, we love spending time together. 2 kids. I have a 17-year-old son who just graduated this year. Currently, he's leaning towards becoming a fireman, and I think he'll do well at that. And then I have a 14-year-old daughter who currently just likes boys and sports. The church I attend now, I'm a deacon. Right away, I was put on the grounds and maintenance side of things. You know how that works out. It's a great way for me to help the local church, serving in that capacity. My dad loved photography. He loves sharing them with others. He loves, showing them to family members. Lots of good memories. I'd love to give my dad finishing shots, like the finale to the family slideshow from the Ideal National Championship.
I'm getting third-year pay just because I'm so behind on hours. Because my daughter was born, it's harder for me trying to make sure that my daughter's taken care of.
I'm super proud of her on what she can do.
Most job sites, it's all men. So there's only a few instances that I've had issues with guys saying, you know what, I don't know if you've noticed or not, but we've only been having you do finishing work. Pulling rope and wire, that's man's job. And I told them flat out, I can deadlift 175 pounds. I have no issue pulling my weight at all.
She always wanted to do more and be taught, and I could give her a task. She'd retain it, she would do it, she would work from morning to break, break to lunch, lunch to end of the day. None of that slow down. She wasn't like that. She did the job and asked for more.
As a whole, I believe everyone can perform as long as they're willing to show up to work. I think times are changing. and it is generally getting better, but it's still not where it really needs to be.
I think we need to change that because women can do this as well. You know, guys, I'm sorry, but what you can do, I can do better.
I get this electrical contractor magazine. It's like free if you're in the trade. So I am flipping through an and full page ad, ideal national competition. It says, do you have what it takes to be the national champion? Yeah, it made me smile when I saw that. I was like, oh, yeah, I guess so.
I heard about the championship through a friend who used to work with. I kind of pushed it to the back until my wife said, you should really consider this. So I did. And as I got into it, it was a challenge.
2016, the first compete I had, I was on the 5th place. And I already knew that same minute I finished that round, I knew what I did wrong.
First year, I went as an individual, got first. Well, my team also went, and we got 2nd place in the team event. Like, it was a ton of fun, but I wanted to get a team win more so than an individual win the 2nd year.
The first time I've heard about Ideal National was through Mike Fox, and he was one of the competitors of the first year. He got me and my husband involved. I just went to one of the events for fun, just to try it out, and I did really well.
They're all in the zone. Wow. Yeah.
I really wanted to beat my husband. That was the main goal. And that's when Andreas got his top time.
I didn't really practice much. I mean, it was kind of just like, let's go do this thing. I don't know. It was pretty unreal.
Why I tried 2nd time? Because, you know, like, I did the first time for fun.
My first year doing the Ideal National Challenge in 2017, I decided to do it with the team. I love to be with people and teamwork, and we can get a lot more achieved, I think, that way. We actually finished in 4th, but we finished right after Andreas and Mike Fox's team. It was very nerve-wracking. I have never felt that much stress. Cameras are right up in your face, and I was very, very nervous.
I felt pretty deflated after the final round. It was just like, I don't know what's gonna happen.
3rd place finisher, I could tell it's pouring his heart and soul. Please join me in a genuine congratulations. Catalyst Electric Set. That means the winner is the one and only Roman.
The result was I won. After they announced I won, I feel like the whole air just came out of me. I feel so much pressure. I wasn't sure if they just announced my name or that was my dream. I know I won, I proved myself. It's something I did in my life good.
I had to pick a new team this year. My husband, he already has a team, which was all of my coworkers. So I went about finding a team through my school. I'm gonna have Jake Thonis, he's my main partner. We also found just recently a new partner, Cody.
Me, Will, and Clay know each other pretty well. We'll get together outside of work. At lunch break, one of my teammates is working the same job as me. We'll be checking the leaderboard to see where our standings are, what's the fastest times currently.
The biggest secret to building the team, first you gotta be able to work with each other. You need to be able to mesh. I think just having that foundation really helps, especially with communication.
Planning for the championship, the thing that like rings in my mind is last year in the finals, I believe I forgot to put wire markers identifying my circuit numbers.
You think you got everything?
I think I got it all.
Awesome.
I hope. And so when I trim panels now, that's always in the back of my mind, like, ooh, the big expensive mistake, you know, not putting wire markers on.
I refreshed my memory from 2016, what I did wrong, I felt mentally. because I feel so confident. This was about the bending the pipes, and I can close my eyes and bend the pipes, but mentally I figured like, man, it's too easy. Why I gotta think about it? And that's what I make mistake.
I don't want to make that same mistake I could make in 2016, but you just got to establish all your work, and you got to be consistent. Whatever you plan, you got to stick to the plan.
Last year, I thought like 10 times before every single move you gotta make. That's a piece of cake. I'm just like, just think about it. Just think, and that's what I did. I was thinking about every single second.
And I'm not used to like, you know, doing a lot of competitive stuff, but anything you do at work, I just always try to work hard, and like, even if I don't say anything, I am trying to go faster than the guy next to me or do it better.
The competition, like I always say, it's a big picture, but everything is done on a small scale.
This year, pre-qualification, we practiced at our house one time and then went to an event the week after. And we just rocked it. And we got first place, and we beat Mike Fox's team. And so that was a nice rub it in his face.
Every day I show up and try to give, you know, 110%. So on a daily basis, I'm kind of always trying to prep myself for the competition. You never know what you're going to be doing when you get there, unless they throw something weird that I'm not used to seeing in the Chicagoland area, then I kind of come prepared.
I am more of a perfectionist, so I like to have things looking nice and neat. This year, we're going to go more for the speed, more than anything, but also still have our good quality.
I really want to have a better life for my family, to pass on a legacy. Those are kind of our two big goals at this point, is to get our house built and hopefully adopt. I really, really hope that this year I come back with a trophy and a big check. It's really a step in getting, not only getting this house done, but also we will be ready to pull the trigger should we end up in that position.
If me and my husband were to win this year, it would mean to me a lot of freedom. Our plans to do with the money, I would love to have an actual house for my daughter to grow up in. But my biggest drive is making sure that we have a roof over our head, our own place. That is like my biggest push. In order for us to win, I want to get it done.
This year, it's on. I've got all the tools I need. I've been practicing. I'm in it to win it.
This year, we're gonna rock it.
So, goal this year, I got champion the first year, team champion the second year, but I got second place as an individual. So, to one up, it's got to be top finish as an individual and as a team.
I work all my life to prove if I'm good, and I'm saying I'm the best electrician, but I am.
I'm gonna win this year, no matter what.
'18 National Championship. Here we are. I just got done checking in, getting ready for a big day of competition tomorrow. Overall goal is going home with 2 checks. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I am so grateful to be here, so excited, and I cannot wait to compete. Just to get here, it was challenging, and it just feels great to be able to show my stuff.
We just got here at 2018 Ideal National Championship. Totally stoked. This is a different year for me. It's been the hardest year of my life. So whatever happens, happens. And we're ready to rock.
Okay, guys, I have a bad news. Just a few days ago, I worked on a ladder, and one of the legs gave up on me, and I fell down, like 10 feet down from that ladder, hit my head. I went to the doctor. They find out I have some separation of the arm and some concussions. We still all have a ticket, and we still plan to go to the Orlando. That's yes, I'm going. I'm not sure if I'm gonna compete because my bad shoulder. I'm sorry if I'm gonna give you that bad news, but it's also bad for me because I would like to compete, and I would like to win, but it is what it is.